General Patricia Hayes had inspected thousands of military personnel throughout her 28-year career, but she'd never seen anything like what she discovered that Tuesday at Camp Pendleton. She was conducting routine evaluations of the Marine Scout Sniper School when she walked past Sergeant Maria Santos, cleaning her Barrett .50 caliber rifle with the meticulous care that marked professional precision shooters. Santos looked like any other dedicated Marine, focused, disciplined, maintaining her equipment with military precision. But when General Hayes glanced at the qualification badges on Santos's uniform, she stopped dead in her tracks. There, among the standard Marine Marksmanship Awards, was a small badge that made Hayes question everything she thought she knew about long-range shooting records. Because that badge indicated Santos had achieved a confirmed kill at 3,200 meters, a distance that exceeded every official military sniper record in history. Welcome to Veteran Stories. Before we continue this incredible story of impossible precision, record-breaking marksmanship, and the moment when a routine military inspection revealed capabilities that defied every known limit of human accuracy. Tell me in the comments which city you're watching from today. And if you believe that some achievements push the boundaries of what we thought was possible, hit that subscribe button and help us honor those who redefine excellence. Camp Pendleton's Marine Scout Sniper School was one of the most demanding marksmanship programs in the U.S. military, producing precision shooters who could engage targets at distances that tested the limits of both equipment and human capability. The facility trained Marines to standards that exceeded law enforcement and most military requirements, creating marksmen capable of operations requiring extreme accuracy under challenging conditions. General Patricia Hayes, Deputy Commandant for Combat Development and Integration, conducted quarterly inspections of specialized training programs to ensure they maintained the highest standards of military excellence. At 52, Hayes had spent her entire career in positions that required understanding the capabilities and limitations of military personnel. This Tuesday morning inspection was routine, reviewing training protocols, evaluating instructor qualifications, and observing student performance. Hayes moved through the facility with a systematic approach that had characterized her military career, checking equipment standards, training documentation, and personnel readiness. The sniper training bay housed 12 precision rifles, and the Marines qualified to use them. Each student maintained their assigned weapon with the obsessive care that separated professional marksmen from recreational shooters. Equipment maintenance was both practical necessity and military discipline. Rifles that could engage targets at 800+ meters required precision care that matched their operational requirements. Hayes walked past each station, observing routine maintenance procedures that would determine whether these Marines could perform when their accuracy meant the difference between mission success and failure. Sergeant Maria Santos, 28, was performing maintenance on her Barrett M82 A 1.50 caliber rifle when General Hayes approached her station. The Barrett was a formidable weapon system, 48.4 pounds of precision engineering designed to engage targets at distances where conventional rifles became ineffective. Santos disassembled the rifle with movements that demonstrated familiarity with every component, cleaning each part with attention to detail that Hayes had seen in her best marksman. The Barrett's complexity required technical knowledge beyond basic rifle maintenance, understanding of advanced optics, ballistics calculations, and the mechanical precision required for extreme range accuracy. Sergeant Santos, Hayes said, pausing at her station. "Yes, ma'am," Santos replied, coming to attention while holding the rifle's bolt assembly. "How long have you been with the sniper program?" 3 years, General. Completed advanced marksman training in 2021, qualified for Special Operations Sniper School in 2022. Hayes noted Santos's professional demeanor and obvious competence with her weapon system. The Barrett required not just marksmanship skill, but technical expertise that most Marines never developed. "What's your primary operational role?" "Long-range precision engagement, General. Counter-sniper operations, equipment destruction, personnel elimination at extended ranges." Hayes nodded and began to move to the next station when something on Santos's uniform caught her eye. Among the standard qualification badges on Santos's dress uniform was a small medallion that Hayes had never seen before. Most military marksmanship awards were familiar to Hayes: expert rifle badges, pistol qualifications, specialized training recognitions that mark progression through various skill levels. But this badge was different. Smaller than standard awards, precisely manufactured, with markings that indicated specialized qualification rather than routine achievement. Hayes stepped closer and read the badge's inscription: Confirmed Engagement, 3,200 meters. Hayes felt her understanding of military marksmanship records shift completely. The longest confirmed military sniper kills in history ranged from 2,815 to 3,540 meters, achieved by elite operators using specialized equipment under exceptional conditions. These were legendary shots, discussed in military circles as examples of the absolute limits of human marksmanship. Santos was wearing documentation of a 3,200-meter engagement, a distance that placed her among the most capable precision shooters in military history. Sergeant Santos, Hayes said, her voice carrying new attention, explained this qualification badge. Santos looked down at her uniform, understanding immediately which badge had caught the general's attention. "Ma'am, that's documentation of a confirmed engagement during Operation Desert Falcon, Afghanistan sector, March 2023. Hayes was quiet for a moment, processing the implications of what Santos had just confirmed. Confirmed by whom? Forward observer, drone surveillance, and post-engagement site inspection, general. All documentation is classified under Special Operations Protocols. Hayes had the security clearance to access Special Operations records, but Santos's claim would require verification through channels that most people never encountered. A 3,200-meter confirmed engagement wasn't just exceptional marksmanship. It was a military achievement that pushed the boundaries of what weapon systems and human capability could accomplish. "Sergeant, walk me through the conditions of that engagement." Santos set down the Barrett components and looked directly at Hayes, recognizing that her answer would determine whether the general understood she was discussing documented fact rather than exaggerated claims. Afghanistan, March 15, 2023. Target was enemy sniper engaging friendly forces from fortified position on ridgeline. Standard engagement distance would have been 800 to 1,200 meters, but terrain and enemy positioning required extended range solution. What were the environmental factors? Santos recited conditions with a precision that marked professional analysis. Temperature 47 degrees Fahrenheit, humidity 23%, wind 8 to 12 miles per hour variable from northwest, altitude 6,200 feet. Target was stationary, but partially concealed behind cover that limited engagement window to approximately 18 inches. Hayes understood that Santos was describing conditions that would challenge even the most experienced marksman at conventional ranges, let alone 3,200 meters. What was your equipment configuration? Barrett M82A1 with Leupold Mark IV scope, match grade .50 BMG ammunition, bipod and rear support. Calculations required compensation for Coriolis effect, atmospheric density, and projectile drop of approximately 400 inches. Hayes had sufficient technical knowledge to understand that Santos was describing ballistic calculations at the edge of what physics and equipment could achieve. At 3,200 meters, a .50 caliber projectile would drop nearly 33 feet from the point of aim, requiring precise elevation calculations and perfect environmental condition assessment. "Sergeant, explain your calculation process." Santos described using advanced ballistic software combined with real-time environmental measurement and range estimation techniques that went beyond standard military training. "General, at that distance, standard ballistic tables become inadequate. I used software designed for extreme range competitions, modified for military ammunition specifications and environmental conditions." "Where did you learn calculations for that distance?" "Civilian precision rifle competitions, ma'am. Before joining the Marines, I competed in extreme long-range shooting events that required engagements at 2,500 to 3,500 meters." Hayes began to understand that Santos brought capabilities to military service that exceeded what Marine sniper training alone could provide. What was your civilian shooting background? Santos explained that she'd been competing in precision rifle sports since age 16, eventually reaching professional levels in competitions where civilian shooters pushed the limits of long-range accuracy using equipment and techniques that sometimes exceeded military standards. My father was a competitive shooter who taught me advanced ballistics and precision rifle techniques. When I joined the Marines, I already understood extreme range engagement principles. Hayes requested access to the operational documentation for Santos's Afghanistan engagement, using security protocols that required confirmation through Special Operations command channels. The verification process took 3 hours, but the results confirmed Santos's account completely. The classified after-action report documented a precision engagement that military analysts had initially considered impossible until post-mission verification proved its accuracy. Santos had eliminated an enemy sniper who was engaging U.S. forces from a position that conventional marksmen couldn't reach. The engagement had been observed by forward personnel, recorded by drone surveillance, and confirmed by post-action inspection of both the firing position and target location. Laser range finding had verified the exact distance at 3,247 meters, effectively 3,200 meters, as indicated on Santos's qualification badge. Military ballistics experts who'd reviewed the engagement had concluded that it represented the outer limit of what the Barrett M82A1 rifle system could accomplish under ideal conditions with perfect marksmanship. Sergeant Santos, Hayes said after reviewing the documentation, this engagement represents one of the longest confirmed military sniper kills in recorded history. Yes, ma'am. I understand it was unusual. Hayes realized that Santos had characterized a world-class achievement as merely unusual. Hayes convened a meeting with Camp Pendleton's senior staff to discuss the implications of Santos's capabilities for Marine sniper training programs. Santos had demonstrated precision shooting that exceeded what most military instructors considered possible. Gentlemen, Hayes told the assembled training staff, we have a Marine whose documented capabilities challenge our understanding of human marksmanship limits. I want to understand how we're utilizing these skills and what we can learn from them. Colonel Marcus Webb, commanding officer of the Scout Sniper School, had been observing Santos's training for 3 years without fully understanding her exceptional capabilities. General, Santos consistently outperforms other students, but we attributed that to natural talent and dedication rather than competition-level expertise. Colonel, Santos has achieved precision shooting that places her among the most capable marksmen in military history. We need to determine how to integrate her experience into our training programs. Hayes recognized that Santos represented an opportunity to enhance Marine sniper capabilities by incorporating civilian precision shooting techniques that pushed beyond standard military protocols. Over the following weeks, Hayes worked with Santos to develop training modules that incorporated extreme long-range shooting techniques into Marine sniper education. Santos's civilian competition experience provided knowledge that could enhance military precision shooting programs. The difference between military and civilian precision shooting, Santos explained during a training development meeting, is that civilian competitors regularly attempt shots at distances most military marksmen consider impossible. What can military training learn from civilian techniques? Asked Hayes. Advanced ballistic calculation software, environmental measurement precision, and mental techniques for maintaining accuracy under pressure. Civilian competition shooting has pushed equipment and human capabilities beyond what military training traditionally addresses. Santos demonstrated calculation methods that exceeded standard military ballistic tables, environmental assessment techniques that improved accuracy prediction, and equipment modifications that enhanced long-range precision. Hayes arranged for Santos to conduct a demonstration of extreme long-range shooting for military officials who needed to understand her capabilities. The demonstration took place at a range facility that could accommodate shots exceeding 3,000 meters. Santos used her personal Barrett M82A1 configured with competition-grade optics and precision ammunition that she'd acquired through civilian channels. The target was placed at exactly 3,200 meters, the same distance as her documented Afghanistan engagement. Atmospheric conditions were measured using precision instruments that provided temperature, humidity, barometric pressure, and wind speed data at multiple points along the projectile trajectory. Santos spent 20 minutes calculating the required holdover, windage adjustment, and trajectory compensation for the 3,200-meter shot. Her calculations incorporated variables that standard military training didn't address: Coriolis effect, atmospheric density variations, and projectile velocity degradation over extended flight time. The first shot missed by approximately 24 inches. Santos adjusted her calculations and fired again. The second shot hit the target center mass. Chapter 10. The recognition military officials who witnessed Santos's demonstration understood that they were observing capabilities at the absolute limit of what human marksmanship could achieve. The precision required to engage targets accurately at 3,200 meters exceeded what most people considered possible. General Hayes recommended Santos for assignment to special operations units that could utilize her exceptional capabilities, but Santos requested to remain with Marine sniper training programs, where she could teach other marksmen. General, I believe my experience can help other Marines develop better long-range shooting capabilities. Teaching precision techniques seems more valuable than individual operational assignments. Hayes understood that Santos's knowledge could enhance Marine sniper training more effectively than her individual service in specialized operations. Sergeant, would you be willing to develop advanced training programs that incorporate your civilian competition techniques? Yes, ma'am. I'd like to help Marines understand what's possible with proper training and equipment. Santos worked with Marine training officials to develop the Advanced Precision Marksmanship Program, incorporating civilian competition techniques into military sniper education. The program taught ballistic calculation methods, environmental assessment procedures, and mental preparation techniques that enabled Marines to attempt shots at distances previously considered impossible. Students in Santos's program learned to engage targets at ranges exceeding 2,500 meters using calculation methods and equipment modifications that civilian competitive shooters had developed. The training pushed Marines beyond conventional military marksmanship limits. What Santos taught us, said one of her students, is that the equipment we were using was capable of much greater precision than we'd been trained to achieve. Her civilian competition background showed us techniques that military training hadn't addressed. The program became so successful that other military branches requested similar training for their precision shooting personnel. Santos suggested that Marine sniper training could benefit from participating in civilian precision rifle competitions, where military marksmen could test their skills against competitors who regularly attempted extreme-range shots. General, civilian competition would expose our marksmen to shooting challenges they can't experience in military training environments, Santos told Hayes during a program review meeting. Hayes approved experimental participation in civilian competitions, with Marine snipers competing alongside civilian shooters in events that required extreme-range precision. The results were educational for both communities. Marines learned advanced techniques from civilian competitors, while civilian shooters gained insights into military applications of precision shooting. Santos consistently placed in the top 3 at competitions involving shots beyond 2,500 meters, demonstrating that her Afghanistan engagement hadn't been exceptional luck, but representative of her consistent capabilities. 18 months after Hayes first noticed Santos's qualification badge, Santos achieved something that military and civilian shooting communities had considered impossible: a confirmed engagement at 3,540 meters during a civilian precision rifle competition in Wyoming. The shot was documented by multiple observers, recorded by high-speed cameras, and verified by laser range-finding equipment. Santos had achieved the longest confirmed precision rifle engagement in recorded history, military or civilian. The achievement was recognized by both military and civilian shooting organizations, but Santos characterized it as natural progression from her previous capabilities rather than an extraordinary breakthrough. At 3,540 meters, the physics become more challenging, but the principles remain the same, Santos told military officials who requested technical analysis of her record engagement. Hayes understood that Santos had redefined the boundaries of human marksmanship capability. Chapter 14. The legacy Santos's techniques became standard curriculum in advanced military sniper programs, and her training methods influenced precision shooting instruction throughout the U.S. military. Marines trained using her methods consistently achieved accuracy at distances that previous training had considered impossible. What Sergeant Santos demonstrated, Hayes told a conference of military training officials, is that human capability often exceeds what our training programs assume is possible. By integrating civilian competition techniques, we've enhanced military precision shooting beyond what traditional methods could achieve. Santos was promoted to staff sergeant and assigned to develop precision shooting programs for Special Operations Forces, but she insisted on maintaining her teaching responsibilities with regular Marine sniper students. Teaching Marines to shoot better is more important than individual achievements, Santos told Hayes. Every Marine who improves their precision shooting capability might use those skills to save lives. 5 years after Hayes first discovered Santos's extraordinary capabilities, the Marine Corps established the Santos Advanced Precision Marksmanship Center at Camp Pendleton, recognizing her contributions to military sniper training and her world record achievements. Santos, now a gunnery sergeant, continued teaching Marines while maintaining her civilian competition career. She held multiple world records for extreme-range precision shooting and had trained hundreds of Marines who'd gone on to successful sniper careers. The center attracted students from all military branches and allied nations, seeking training in precision shooting techniques that pushed beyond conventional limits. What we learned from Sergeant Santos, said the center's director, is that excellence has no ceiling. When someone achieves what everyone considers impossible, they show others what's actually possible with proper training and dedication. 8 years after that first inspection, General Hayes, now retired, visited the Santos Center to observe training that had revolutionized military precision shooting. Santos, wearing the rank of Master Sergeant, was instructing a class of students attempting 2,800-meter engagements, shots that would have been considered impossible when Hayes first noticed that small qualification badge. Master Sergeant Santos, Hayes said after the training session, "When I first saw your 3,200-meter badge, I thought it might be a mistake. Now I understand it was just the beginning." Santos smiled. "General, that badge represented what I'd already accomplished. Everything since then has been about helping other Marines understand what they can accomplish with proper training." Hayes watched Santos's students achieving precision at distances that rewrote military marksmanship standards, understanding that exceptional individual capability could transform entire training programs when shared with others who were ready to push beyond conventional limits. General Patricia Hayes never expected that a routine inspection would reveal capabilities that redefined military marksmanship standards. When she noticed Sergeant Maria Santos's 3,200-meter qualification badge, it seemed impossible, a distance that exceeded every known limit of human precision shooting. But Santos's achievement wasn't impossible. It was the result of combining military discipline with civilian competition techniques that pushed beyond what traditional training considered achievable. Santos showed that excellence doesn't respect conventional boundaries, that individual capability can transform institutional standards, and that the most extraordinary achievements often come from people who quietly push beyond what others consider possible. Her story reminds us that human potential often exceeds what training programs assume is achievable, and that integrating knowledge from different disciplines can create capabilities that neither could develop alone. So now I ask you, have you ever encountered someone whose capabilities exceeded what everyone thought was possible in their field? Someone who redefined the boundaries of achievement through skill that challenged conventional understanding? Share their story in the comments. Tell us where you're watching from. Because at Veteran Stories, we believe that extraordinary capability often hides behind ordinary appearances, and that the greatest achievements come from those who refuse to accept conventional limits. Subscribe if stories like this matter to you. Because every field has people like Master Sergeant Santos, individuals whose exceptional skills can transform entire industries when shared with others ready to learn what's actually possible.